Today I'm going to show you the absolute fastest way to level in 7 Days to Die. Let's get to it. So we're going to start off, I'm just going to show you the setup you need to get the absolute max amount of experience you can get per minute in this game, and then I'll explain the why and the how. Then I'll explain how to get the absolute best start you can get to get this setup, or as close to it as you can get, as early as you can get it. So with that said, the setup is pretty simple. You need a tier 6 steel pickaxe with the ergonomic grip, the bunker buster mod, and it's not mandatory, but it helps cut down on repairs because you're going to be knocking through blocks like crazy, the diamond blade tip mod. Next, you want the tier 6 miner helmet with the customized fittings and the treasure hunters mod. Then you want the miner chest piece, once again, customized fittings, the miner gloves with the customized fittings, and last but not least, you want the lumberjack shoes. Once again, all of this tier 6, obviously. Then you will need the Art of Mining Volume 7. This is going to increase the amount of damage you do to blocks. I do want to point out that if you have the tier 6 armor, the book, and maxed out Miner 69er, you don't necessarily need the tier 6 pickaxe. You can actually do this with a tier 3 steel pickaxe instead of a tier 6, but you know how I like to do, go big or go home, so I recommend the most maxed out stuff. However, I did not test any other combinations, so I don't know if you have the tier 6 pickaxe, if you could do it with the lesser armor or what have you, because obviously you should just go for the tier 6 armor first to begin with. And out of the armor, you should be crafting the tier 6 gloves first, as that's what increases the block damage, which is going to allow you to break blocks in a single hit. Now, this alone will get you about 23,000 experience per minute. But if you want to kick that up a notch to about 27,000 experience per minute, you want a Grandpa's Learning Elixir while you are mining. The skills you need are simple. It's mandatory that you put 7 points into strength. This is going to let you max out Miner 69er. You also want to max out Miner 69er. From there, you're also going to need as many points as you can afford at any given point of time in heavy armor. I highly recommend at least 3 levels. 3 levels in it should allow you to swing the steel pickaxe forever. 4 is just going to further help with stamina. Now, what do you mine? Because you don't want to just mine anything. Different blocks that you mine give you different amounts of experience. The 2 highest that give you 6 per ore that you mine are coal and oil shale. Now, the fun thing about that is when you mine coal or oil shale, you also get rock. You don't just get coal or oil shale. Each rock that you mine will give you 2 experience. Note that this is per and it stacks. So if you mine 2 coal, you're going to get 12 experience. 2 rocks, you're going to get 4 experience, and so on and so on. So if you drink an elixir, each block that you mine that is an ore block, so for example, each coal block that you mine, will net you around 502 experience. You can swing the steel pickaxe 55 times per minute. If we do the math on this, that is 27,610 experience per minute when you drink a Grandpa's Learning Elixir. Without the Learning Elixir, you will gain around 420 experience per block that you mine. If we do the math on that, that is 23,100 experience per minute. Now, at what level you are going to get to this point is going to vary because there is a lot of RNG at play here. The skills part is super easy. You can do it by level 12. You'll need 16 points total. You'll get 12 of those by level 12, plus the 4 you get for completing your beginning quests. The hard part and the RNG part of this is going to be collecting all of the books you need in order to be able to craft your steel pickaxe, as well as your armor, as well as gaining all of the legendary kits. But let's just say hypothetically here, to give you an idea of how strong this method of gaining experience is, let's just say you did all of this by level 30. To go from level 30 to level 60, you could do that in 4 hours of continuous mining, and that's without the elixir buff. Now, 60 matters because after 60, your experience that you need to go to the next level is clamped. It ramps up from 1 to 60, and then once you hit 60, it clamps at 186,791. Once you get to this point, without an elixir, you can level once every 8 minutes of continuous mining. If you drink an elixir, you can do it in just over 6. All right, so now that you have all the details, let's talk about the how and why and answer a bunch of questions I know I'm going to get down there in the comments. First off, starting with, but Firespark, wouldn't the auger be better? No, the auger is not better. Here's why. Everything that is in the game, except for the miner helmet, that gives you an increase in the amount of resources you gain, gives you a negative penalty to your experience gain. Even our steel pickaxe does. The iron pickaxe does not. That kicks in once you get to steel. It's a 10% reduction in experience. The reason we take that 10% reduction in experience is because of speed. And we can use some simple math to determine how many blocks we can break with the iron pickaxe per minute compared to how many we can break with the steel pickaxe per minute. And it's very simple to do. The steel pickaxe can do 55 attacks per minute. Because we can break a block in a single hit gives us the capability to break 55 blocks per minute. With everything maxed out and doing as much block damage as I could possibly do, I was only able to break a block in 3 hits with the iron pickaxe. The iron pickaxe can do 65 attacks per minute, so we just divide 65 by 3 and that gives us 21.6, meaning that we can break about 21 blocks per minute with an iron pickaxe. That's a pretty big difference, so yeah, we can break a lot more per minute with the steel pickaxe. Well, wouldn't this apply to the auger as well, Firespark? It's crazy fast. No, it's not as fast as this because you break with a single hit. We can do the same thing with the auger. The auger has to hit the block 6 times. That's with everything maxed out as high block damage as I could get it. It attacks 300 times per minute, or has 300 rounds per minute because I guess it's treated like a gun. We take 300 divided by 6 and that gives us 50 blocks per minute. Once again, that's not as much as the steel pickaxe because the steel pickaxe is 55. Also, the auger reduces your experience gain by 30%, which is a far sight difference from the 10% we lose with the steel pickaxe. You do not want to do anything else that is going to change how much ore you gain when you are mining. So that means no mother lode, no rock bites, none of that stuff. All of that stuff is going to reduce the total amount of experience that you get when you are mining. All of this stuff gives you a penalty to the experience you gain to balance out the fact that the more stuff you mine, the more experience you get. As I stated before, for each coal that you mine, that is 6 experience. These negative penalties to your experience stack just the same as the bonuses that you get to gathering stack, and that balances everything out. So for example, the rock bites will give us a negative 5% experience gain. If we were to eat those, we already have a negative 10, we would have a total of negative 15. So because of this, we focus on breaking blocks as fast as we possibly can and being able to do it continuously. This gives us the fastest amount of experience per minute that we can get. What about the nerdy helmet? The nerdy helmet doesn't give you as much experience as you get from the miner helmet. That small increase that you get just doesn't seem to compare when we have the miner helmet on. Not sure why, didn't bother to do the math to figure it out. I just tested the two and you get more experience with the miner helmet. We wear the gloves in the outfit of the miner set because that reduces the amount of stamina we use per swing and it increases our block damage, allowing us to break blocks in a single hit. We wear the lumberjack boots because they increase our stamina regen, and all of this comes together, allowing us to break blocks in a single hit and swing the pickaxe forever. Okay, now that we've covered all that, let's talk about how to get into this as early as possible and what kind of experience you can expect early game. With a tier 5 iron pickaxe and a bunker buster mod on it, it is possible to get 4,680 experience per minute. I realize that's a big difference from what we can get when we have our maximum setup, but it's still a respectable amount of experience per minute and probably the fastest you're going to get before or around day 7. I tested all of this and I have a method to get into all of this super early game. It was all tested on default settings. Do note that there is a lot of RNG involved here. I did my best to weed as much of it out as possible, but it can happen. For example, I had a bit of issue getting enough of the books necessary in order to craft a workbench. It is what really held me back. Otherwise, I would have been able to accomplish this around day 5. So what do? First things first, when you get into game, you go through your first initial steps of quests in order to get your initial 4 points to spend on skills. With those initial 4 points, you are going to put 1 point into the Daring Adventurer and 1 point into Advanced Engineering. From that point on, you are going to focus on leveling up strength and getting that to 7 as quickly as possible. Then you will put points into Miner 69er and then follow up with the heavy armor. Do not, and I repeat, do not put points into anything else that will influence the books that you get. I'm going to recommend to you to use a sledgehammer. Do not put any points into Skull Crusher at any point until you have all of the necessary books you need in order to pull this off. The reason for this is the setup that I just gave you focuses on getting the armor books, the tool books, and the workstation books. Any point that you put in anything else that influences the books you're going to get decreases your chance of getting one of those 3 books. The sledgehammer without any perks into Skull Crusher is going to be stamina intensive, but you're putting points into strength, which is going to help you do a lot of damage, and a tier 1 stone sledgehammer will get you through to day 7 without any issues. Once again, I tested all this. I had absolutely 0 issues using this as my main weapon. So once you've done the initial quests and you've spent your points, you're going to make a beeline straight for the trader, and you're going to start doing the trader quests. You're going to prioritize the quests in this order: a fetch, then a clear, and then the buried supplies. It's RNG, so you're at the game's whim to what you get, but you want to prioritize them in that order. And the reason for that is the fetch is the fastest, followed by the clear, followed by the buried supplies. It takes forever or to dig the buried supplies. The fetch is the easiest because you can go straight to the location. It will show you where it's at. If you look at your compass, you just get close to it, it'll highlight. You can do it from the outside of the building a majority of the times. Dig your way straight to it, just break whatever blocks. Trust me, it's faster than doing the POI to just break through a wall with your crappy little stone axe than it is to go through the POI and kill the zombies. Get the stash, run back to the trader. You do this 3 times per day. You can do it more than that, but only 3 will count towards the 10 that you need to get to stage 2. If you get the option for a skill book bundle, get it, but don't open it. You do not want to open these bundles until you have 7 points into strength and the 5 into minor 69er. And the reason for this is every point you put into strength increases your chance of getting an armor book. Every point you put into minor 69er increases your chance of getting a tools book. The point we put into advanced engineering increases our chances of getting the forged ahead books, which allows us to create a workbench. The reason you put the point into daring adventure is because that adds plus 10 to the stage of your trader. So you get plus 10, and then the trader stage is your level plus some other math, but it's not much more than what your level is. That 1 point into daring adventure is going to get you infinitely better rewards, as well as the chance to buy an iron pick as early as like day 3. The trader levels up what they sell when they hit game stage 15. You only need to hit level 5 if you put that single point into daring adventure to hit level 15 with the trader. This puts you in iron tools territory. Having a higher trader stage also gives a higher chance of him rolling mods as rewards or for them to show up in his shop. So keep an eye out for the bunker buster and the ergonomic grip. They're going to make a big difference when it comes to mining. If you have a choice between one of the skill book bundles and one of those mods, choose those mods, even if it's just the recipe for those mods and not the mod itself. If you were able to complete 3 of your trader quests per day, you'll be on stage 2 quests and have completed that first quest chain by day 3. And I know you're like, wait a minute, that math doesn't add up, but that very first quest you do does not count towards your 3-day per limit and also counts towards your quest chain apparently, because I did it by day 3. Keep in mind, RNG is going to play a massive role here because how close they are is going to make a difference on how quickly you're able to complete them. I got lucky, all of mine were very close, but they're not always close. Once you've done this, if you are not quite high enough level to have all of the points that you need to have spent, so 7 into strength and 5 into minor 69er, focus on doing clear quests so that you can kill more zombies, plus get the experience that you get from the quest. Continuing to do the quests is a really good option because you will also get more of those skill book bundles. Once again, do not open all of those until you have the proper points allocated. Once you do have all of those and you have the proper points allocated, open up all of those book bundles. This should get you very close, if not over, the amount of books you need to craft at least tier 1 minor armor, a pickaxe if one didn't show up for the trader, as well as the workbench you need to craft all of that stuff. If this didn't happen, you have no choice but to just go grind those books. However you want to go about grinding them, my advice would be to continue doing the quests with the trader because you have a chance of getting those book bundles. Also, you can go grab the drops that happen every 3 days. By default, you can change those to whatever yours are, but the airdrops, they contain book bundles. Those have really high chance of getting you the books that you need. Now, I tested all of this 100% legit, no admin shenanigans, and by day 6, so before the first week was even over, I was able to craft tier 2 of the necessary armor pieces I needed, as well as a tier 5 iron pickaxe. I was able to get a hold of the ergonomic grip, but not the bunker buster. I would have had all of this much earlier, but as I stated before, I had a hard time getting a hold of the necessary books to create the workbench. I got shafted on that one, but boy oh boy did they want to give me the tools and the armor books. Those were not a problem. So ideally at this point, I would have taken the rest of day 6 to secure some type of horde base and then did the horde, and then after that commenced to grinding levels. From that point on, I can go about putting points wherever I want to actually complete a good build. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this one. If y'all have any questions, if I missed anything, just let me know down there in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other videos. And if you're looking for some more of my 7 Days to Die content, you can find a link to another one of my videos on the screen right now. I want to give an absolute massive shout out and thank you to all of my channel supporters for helping to keep these videos sponsor free. You all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to become an official channel supporter, check out the links in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and share your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.